WWE Crown Jewel. I believe we've had 3 of these events so far, and they have all been disastrous. Somebody gets hurt, there's some kind of botch, the match card sucks. But for whatever reason, this Crown Jewel not only is the best Crown Jewel that they will most likely ever have up to date, it actually looks like it's a show worth watching. If you're home at 1 o'clock on a random Thursday, which I happen to be, I would invite you to watch it in general. Not here, but in general. We have a lot of good championship matches and some feuds that have been built very good. The King and Queen of the Ring tournament, I'm all for it. Here's the issue. Is it going to mean something 3 months from now? Xavier Woods is great. Not in the same breath as Finn Balor. Zelina Vega, I've been praying that they do something with her. All of this, all of that, and everything in between. 2021 WWE Crown Jewel preview and predictions. Go nowhere else. This is a very good card. I think that there's matches on here that have been built well. I see the King and Queen of the Ring finals. It would only make sense to have it on Crown Jewel. Dewdrop does nothing for me. That's just my personal. It has nothing to do with weight, because I know somebody will say, no. Has nothing to do with weight. But I'm not interested in her. I'm not interested in what she has to offer. Zelina Vega, I've been a big fan of since she was a manager for Andrade and Angel Garza, who I have no idea where the hell he is. I've been a big fan of her since that time. Otherwise, you have the championship matches. You have Roman versus Brock, should be great. Drew versus Big E, should be great. The Smackdown women's, I mean, you don't get much better than a triple threat between those 3 women. I mean, it's not going to get much better for you, for anybody, as a matter of fact, than something like that. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. I didn't care about Goldberg. I cared about Goldberg when he first came back, because we were all excited. And then he wrestled. And here we are, 5 years later. I think Goldberg is the worst and most non-valuable wrestler WWE could possibly have, without question. We have Bobby Lashley, and this is where it ends. Hell in a Cell should be used for feuds where it requires extremeness. The feud should be going on for a minimum of 3 months. It should be brutal. It should be ruthless. This is the perfect match for 2 guys that are fucking fantastic at what they do. Then we get to the Raw Tag Team Championship. RK Bro versus Styles and Omos. It's just a rematch. Nothing crazy, but why not put it on the card? And Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali. For those of you that do not know, both of those men, I believe, are native to Saudi Arabia. Mustafa Ali is fantastic. Monsoor, I believe he had his big moment. Was it the Battle Royal? I don't know what it was last year. Battle Royal, yes. Made it clear he will donate his pay from the card to charity. Ali said, but there's no reason to have Ali win. Monsoor, that he's a superhero in Saudi Arabia. At least it seems from a WWE standpoint. But let's get into it, folks. The Queen of the Ring finals. Now, for those of you that do not know, I'm going to do this probably immediately after this. I have not watched any King or Queen of the Ring matchups whatsoever. That is definitely something that I need to put on my agenda because it's hard, again, to watch a final. I don't really go back and watch Raw and SmackDown regular singles matches unless there's a fantastic triple threat match that either opens or closes the show. And I really don't. But obviously, you want to get in tap with what's going on. King and Queen of the Ring, so on and so forth. Dewdrop. Queen of the Ring finals. Dewdrop versus Zelina Vega. CBS says here that the tournament was a complete joke. The average match time for the 6 tournament matches was 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So it'll take me about 20 minutes to get through that tournament. The average King of the Ring match was 10 minutes. It's easy to see why the tournament has a complete flop. Expect the short Queen matches to continue when Dewdrop gets the win and attempt to get her struggling character. Yeah, here's the thing. Dewdrop, again, like I mentioned, does absolutely nothing for me. I don't care about her character. I don't give a shit. I just don't care. This should be Zelina Vega winning in an underdog attempt. There's no reason to have Dewdrop win this. You have her win the Queen of the Ring finals. I care about her just as much as I did a week ago, which is nothing. I don't care about Eva Marie. I don't like Dewdrop. I think it's very cringe. I'm just not interested. I wasn't interested in Eva Marie when she debuted. She got maybe 2% better. I still don't care. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I've been a big fan of Zelina Vega since she debuted. I think everybody can sit here and say that I've been a big Zelina Vega fan. I've said she's great. Everything she did with Andrade and Angel Garza was fantastic. She's a woman where you may not put her in the same category as Bianca, Sasha, Bayley, Becky, and that's okay. But she's great on the mic. She has a great character. She has the look. She's pretty solid in the ring. And she deserves some type of recognition. Now, my whole thing is this King and Queen of the Ring going to mean something 3 months from now? We've seen in the past the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royals. Every single winner has used that to everything except their advantage. Big Show won, it meant nothing. Baron Corbin won, it meant nothing. Now, they made something out of Baron Corbin winning King of the Ring. King Corbin, I get that. That was made out of something. But other than that, they've done nothing. The King of the Ring tournament has become no different than the Andre Battle Royal. Outside of the Royal Rumble, there is no Battle Royal in WWE unless it's a #1 contenders that means anything. So why would this be any different? This match will probably be embarrassing and it will be nothing of value, but I'm going to go with Zelina Vega because fuck everything else. Fuck everything else. So on and so forth. King of the Ring finals. Finn Balor versus Xavier Woods. Now, we all can believe that Xavier Woods is fantastic. Now, my first pick for this was actually going to be Finn Balor. Because, again, Xavier's great, but he's not in the same breath as Finn Balor. I think we all know that. I'm told the tournament was decent. Now, Balor, if you really think about it, doesn't need to win the tournament to be relevant. Xavier doesn't necessarily need to win it either. But in my honest opinion, I think Xavier Woods is the perfect guy to have a tournament win. Obviously he's still in the New Day. The New Day is still intact. But Xavier Woods is also a guy that, main event level, no. But he's a guy that could have a solid singles run if WWE does it the right way. If WWE does it the right way, Xavier Woods could have a solid singles run. If there's no reason to really have Finn Balor win, it fits Woods better than Balor. Could I see Finn Balor winning? Yes, I could. But I think it would be more fair in a sense. Have Xavier Woods win the King of the Ring. Why does he need to win? What is Finn? Xavier Woods hasn't, outside of tag titles, he's never really done anything. He might have been, I think it was Kofi, but he might have been United States champion at one point, but I don't think he was. What does he have to prove? Nothing more. Who maybe isn't necessarily a rookie. Give it to Xavier Woods. I'll pick him. That's my guess. Monsoor versus Mustafa Ali. Monsoor is a hero in Saudi Arabia. Mustafa Ali is great, and it's sad because a lot of times WWE hasn't shown us that. They put him as the leader of Retribution, one of the worst factions in professional wrestling history. Easy. They tried their best to mimic the Nexus, and it failed miserably. Nobody cared. Where the hell was Mia Yim? Where the hell was Dominik Dijakovic? These people, I'm not following weekly, but a lot of times they just disappear from television and nobody has any fucking note of where the hell they go. Imagine how it felt before the internet. Nobody knows nothing. Monsoor should win this match. It'll be a great match. Could be one of the better matches of the show. Monsoor should win. Raw Tag Team Championships, RK Bro vs. Styles and Omos. There's nothing wrong with a rematch. This match could be good. I'm at a point now where I'm ready to see Styles have a singles run. But then again, you have to keep in mind if Styles breaks up from Omos, what is he doing? He can't wrestle singles. You know what I mean? So unless Omos becomes a manager to Styles, but Styles doesn't need a man. And see, that's the thing. You put these guys in a tag match together, and that's fantastic. The problem is, or a tag team together. The problem now is What happens when Styles is ready to go back into the singles field? Is almost just a manager at ringside? Does he help Styles win heel ways? Heel tactics? That's my thing. No reason for RK Bro to drop the titles just after winning them. They're a great tag team. Again, you know, Randy Orton doesn't have much to prove left in WWE. Maybe WWE doesn't have necessarily something for Matt Riddle right now. They work great as a team. Have them retain the championships against Styles and Omos. Could be a pretty good match, depending on how it goes. But I got RK Bro retaining. This match coming up right here, if it's done right, has the chance to be a match that people can remember for a very long time. Edge and Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell. Seth Rollins has dominated this feud. He broke into Edge's house. He did everything he could. This is a huge match that Edge has to win. If WWE is dumb enough to have Seth Rollins win this Hell in a Cell match, the feud's over. Edge is done. He's done. We watched Seth Rollins win. Now it's Hell in a Cell. The hero needs to go over. Edge has to win. This match could be fantastic. If you want my honest opinion looking at this whole damn card, this would be my main event. Outside of Roman and Lesnar, of course. Edge has to win this match. It doesn't matter how. You can have Seth Rollins beat the living shit out of it. Have them have the most brutal match you could put on off of ratings. Have there be blood. You have to be situations in WWE, no matter if they're PG or not, the edgier, whatever. You have to have situations where you create memory. This right here is the match where they can create memory if it's done right. I don't have any doubt. I honestly think that there are certain matches that WWE going in, you know they're going to do right. A lot of times it's always a question phase. But I see WWE doing this match very good. Have Edge win. Edge wins, then what? This should be, unless there's a reason to have another one, this should be the final match between the two. I know, very sad because the feud was fucking A+, but Edge should win this. Put a nail in the coffin. Shit, if Seth Rollins, no, they're not writing him off television. He was gone for a while. I was going to say, have Seth Rollins go out on a stretcher. Do something crazy. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley, no holds barred. There's really no doubt in my mind who's winning this match, and there's two reasons why. First off, it's non-title. Thank God, because I can't imagine Goldberg holding a title in 2021. And two, it's no holds barred. So we know that Goldberg can't go in a wrestling match. We saw that at SummerSlam. He wasn't asked to do much against Bobby Lashley, but what he was asked to do, he could not complete. He could not complete. I don't want to see Goldberg in a big feud. You can put him on television, you can put him against someone, but Vince looks, and a lot of people that look at Goldberg look at him as a big moneymaker, which is not the case, and hasn't been the case for over 15 years. But Goldberg will never be anything less than a main title feud. You will never see Goldberg fight Finn Balor. I mean, they had him fight Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt lost to Goldberg as The Fiend, and he was never the same since. Find some type of involvement. Will he do anything? No. He tried at SummerSlam. Didn't work out well. No title involved. It kills me to say it, but there's no reason Goldberg should lose this match. Never thought I'd say something like that, but there's no reason Goldberg should lose a non-title, no-holds-barred match when you can have help from the outside. I'm sure the Hurt Business will find their way to get involved. I personally would love Lashley to kick the shit out of Goldberg because I can never see the end of that. I'd love that. I really would. WWE title, Biggie and Drew McIntyre. This Drew McIntyre kind of came out of the woodworks here. Biggie doesn't have any challengers right now, if you really look at it. The WWE title on Raw scene is very low. No credible challengers. Drew McIntyre's great. That's really all it is. As great as Big E is, I just feel like they didn't go the right way about him winning the title. I felt like it should have either done it earlier or waited longer. It just didn't feel like the right time to have Big E win the championship. But here we are. It wouldn't make much sense to have Biggie drop the title already. Is it possible? Yeah, I could see it. But it doesn't make sense to me. Why would Biggie drop the championship after they promoted him as this guy who's worked his whole life, which most people do that win a championship? They promoted him as this guy that worked his whole life to win a championship. And now you're going to drop it to Drew, who had a year run. Drew's getting the championship back at some point. But I feel like Drew had such a healthy run throughout the pandemic that I don't know what you do with him. As great as he is, Drew doesn't... I saw his reign for a year. I don't need to see Drew as champion again. I want to see new, fresh faces. And that's one of the things that Raw doesn't have right now, is they don't have somebody that they can look at and Big E and say, oh, this is that. That's the same thing with the Universal title. After Brock, you know, Roman is... It's going to get to a point where Roman just steamrolls everybody. And either somebody comes up and they think super highly of him, oh my God, or not. Or not. Big E should retain. He should retain this championship. I don't know how I feel about Big E beating Drew, but you have him as your champion, so you need to build him as your champion. SmackDown Women's Championship. I swear to God, I'm in love. Not with Becky Lynch, by the way. Sasha and Bianca. These three... First off, Bianca should still have the championship. This show is the show where she should drop it. If we didn't have Becky come back, no excuse of hers, if we didn't have Becky come back and squash Bianca after she had this great reign as champion, she won at WrestleMania, May, June, July, August, 4-month reign. Becky's back. Pinfall, 1, 2, 3. First off, even if you had Becky win that match, it should have been an actual match. They did have Becky win that match, by the way. We don't have to sell Becky Lynch as a monster in the females division. I believe the last couple of years have done that already. So the fact that Becky came back and she squashed her ass in 30 seconds, well, now it makes you look stupid. Now Bianca loses most credibility because Becky Lynch just came back and squashed her. Becky winning? Sure. You're at your second or third biggest show of the year, depending on what you think. WrestleMania will always be the biggest show of the year. And then the second show could either be the Royal Rumble or SummerSlam. I think it's the Royal Rumble because SummerSlam is not a SummerSlam, and it hasn't been SummerSlam in a long time. Not only are you at your second biggest show of the year, you're at Reliant Stadium in front of what I believe was 50,000 people. Where else are you having a Becky and Bianca match for a title that could really go? Are you having that match the next night on Raw in front of 18K? No. No. And this is the shit that I'm talking about. Anyways, this match should be fantastic. It gives me nostalgia of when we saw Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky in the triple threat at what was arguably the worst WrestleMania of all time, but that was the one bright spot of it, is the fantastic triple threat. WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. The main event was Triple H and Roman Reigns. I drank a few quarts of bleach that night. Sadly, I'm still here. Just kidding, that's terrible. Listen, somebody has to eat the fucking pinfall. Who is it? Somebody has to eat the damn pinfall. No reason to have Becky drop the title unless you're giving it to Sasha. Bianca's not winning this match. Charlotte was drafted to SmackDown, but beat Balor on Raw to retain a Raw Women's title. Keep Charlotte away from this shit, please. Keep her... I'm tired of... Just keep Charlotte somewhere else. I don't need to see her. Thank you very much. Her 37 championships she'll retire with is more than enough. Charlotte, yada yada. Wrong title on the wrong brand. Title swap segment. This could be your match of the night. Becky will probably retain. And I don't know who's eating the pinfall and how. I don't think it will be the cleanest finish. Keep in mind it's a triple threat match. I think they have Bianca eat the pinfall, and that kills me because Sasha just came back. You know, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Becky retains her championship. Main event of the evening, presumably. Roman Reigns defends his Universal title against Brock Lesnar. This should be a really rough match. This should be a tough match. Like I mentioned with the Hell in a Cell, there should be blood. There should be roughness. Have Brock take Roman Reigns to the closest brink of defeat that you possibly can. Roman's had the title for about almost a year and a half. Have Brock, Finn was pretty close. Have Brock bring Roman Reigns to the absolute depths of hell. Literally to where Roman Reigns can barely walk. And have Roman Reigns retain the championship. Have Roman Reigns retain the championship. You have Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns should need assistance walking to the back. That's how much you want to sell Brock Lesnar. This should be a fucking war. But Roman Reigns retains that championship. And it shows you once again why Roman Reigns is not only the best thing in wrestling, he's a champion for a reason. Roman Reigns retains over Brock Lesnar. So on and so forth. Crown Jewel, man. Like it, love it, hate it, or everything in between. This is your preview and prediction.